What are mini split systems? How much do they cost? What size will you need in your home? What do they even look like in your home? In this video, we're going to be answering all of those questions. Hey there, this is Graham Friels with Clean Air Heating and Cooling. In this video, we're going to be telling you everything that you need to know about mini split systems, how they work, their top benefits, what goes into installing them. All of your questions are going to be answered. So if you're in the market for a new heating and cooling system, then you've probably heard of mini split systems. First off, what is a mini split system? They're exactly what it sounds like. They're just a miniature version of the central air conditioning system that you're probably used to seeing, all without ductwork. A mini split system consists of two main components. The indoor unit, which is your air handler, typically it's mounted on a wall or a ceiling, and then your outdoor unit, which is the condenser. These two units are then connected with a refrigerant line that's typically run through the exterior wall of your home. While a mini split system does not need ductwork to operate, you're actually going to need a separate air handler or indoor unit per room or zone in your house that you want to heat or cool. So how do ductless mini split systems work? They work by moving warm air from one location to another through heat exchange coils. During the cold months of winter, the outdoor unit or the condenser will pull warm air from the outside and send it to the indoor unit, while during the hot summer months, what is going to happen is that indoor air handler is going to pull warm air from inside the house, send it outwards, and then replace it with cooler air. So why would you choose a mini split system versus a traditional central air system? There are a lot of reasons to choose a mini split system over a traditional central air system, and here are a few. First off, again, no ductwork. You know, it's in the name. Many older homes don't have ductwork already installed, so it's really difficult to go ahead and add that, and it can be expensive. But also mini splits can be great for, rooms like a garage or an outdoor shed where you don't want to have to run new ductwork. Number two, they're really cost effective. Mini split systems tend to be much cheaper than a central air system when installed. Part of the reason they're cheaper to install is because they're easy and they're quick to install. Typically, technicians can install your mini split system in 1 day or less. On the other hand, central air units, when you install those, typically we have to, remove your furnace, do ductwork, fabrication, and installation. It just really requires a lot more work to do. Another reason why people choose mini split systems is their energy efficient design. Mini split systems are extremely efficient and they help you save money on your monthly energy bills. We have mini split options up to 26 SEER, and oftentimes we see them be anywhere from 20 to 40% more efficient than a central air unit. Mini split systems are also extremely versatile, and there's a lot of options to choose from and how it's going to look in your home, whether it's a wall mounted unit, a ceiling unit, or even a floor mounted unit. The last reason why people choose mini split systems is because they greatly improve the air quality of your home. With no ductwork, there's no area for dust and debris to collect to, and in fact, your mini split system is going to pull air directly from outside into your home, providing a nice, fresh air quality for you and your family to breathe in and enjoy. Okay, so now you've heard the benefits of mini split systems compared to central air systems, and hopefully you're convinced. So what size system are you going to need for your home? Well, let's go ahead and figure that out. The size of your mini split system is going to depend on a few different factors. Probably the most important factor that's going to affect the size of your mini split system is, number one, the size of your home, and also how many rooms or zones you are going to want to heat or cool in your home. Number two, we're going to go ahead and look at the insulation of your home, just how well insulated your home is. We're also going to look at how much sunlight is entering your home. And last but not least, the climate of where you live is also going to affect what size system you're going to need to heat and cool your home. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need to decide in figuring out the size mini split system that you want for your home is you're going to need to determine how many rooms or how many zones that you want to heat or cool in your home. Some people choose just to heat or cool one specific zone in their house, but a lot of people we see, want to heat multiple zones, whether that's, a living room, a kitchen, a den area, maybe it's a bedroom or office. That's the first thing that you're going to have to decide. You can have up to 8 zones per condenser or per outdoor unit for your mini split system. So let's go ahead and give an example of what this looks like. Say you want to heat and cool a living room, a kitchen, 2 bedrooms, maybe an office, and then a play area or a den area. That would be 6 total zones. So you're going to need 6 different air handlers or indoor units. And you'll only have to have 1 outdoor unit because you have less than 8 indoor units. Now this can get pretty tricky depending on how many windows and doors you have in each, specific zone or room. But just as a very broad general rule, the bigger the room or the bigger the zone, the more BTU demand in that specific zone. Now we have a couple different images and graphs that help you decide how much of a BTU demand you have for each room or zone depending on the square footage. But again, this really will take a little bit more work than just a broad general rule. And we really recommend that you have an HVAC technician come out and look at each specific room or zone. So once you've done a BTU calculation of each specific room, all you're gonna do is add up all of these different zones or all these different rooms, find that total BTU demand, and you're gonna wanna find an outdoor condenser unit that can handle that total BTU demand of your entire home. Okay, so now that you know the benefits of a mini split system and also the correct size system that you're gonna need for your home, let's go and talk about what it takes to install your mini split system. So the first thing that you're gonna do when installing your mini split system is you're gonna go ahead and work on the base area for your outdoor unit or your condenser. You really wanna make sure that you pick the perfect location for this condenser because it's gonna sit there for a long time. Here are some important factors that you'll wanna take into consideration when choosing the location of your outdoor unit. You'll wanna choose a flat area if possible that's really easy to access. This will help us get access to it when we install it, but also you wanna choose an area that's easy to access for any time the unit needs to be serviced by a technician. You'll also want to make sure you choose an area that offers plenty of clearance from different walls or bushes. Basically these condensers, they need a certain amount of distance between the next object to make sure they're getting proper airflow into your indoor units. If you live in a colder region of the country like we do here in the Pacific Northwest, you also want to make sure you're avoiding setting the condenser in a spot where snow could build up or ice could build up and then it could fall straight onto the outdoor unit. And last but not least, for optimal performance and longevity, we also recommend that you place it on the north side of your home if possible. So once you've picked your location for your outdoor unit, the next thing that you're going to do is take a shovel and you're going to carve out the area of where you're going to set the pad for your outdoor unit. After that, you're going to add some gravel, pound it down nice and flat, and then you're gonna actually add the pad for the outdoor unit. It's really important here that you make sure this area is level and that your outdoor unit isn't gonna be tilted in any way. We also wanted to add a quick disclaimer here. A lot of people may not be able to find an optimal place like this to set their outdoor unit, and that is okay. We can actually mount the entire outdoor condenser on the wall with some pretty heavy duty brackets, and so that's not a problem. Okay, now that the outdoor area is completed with your mini split system, let's go ahead and move inside and let's get to work on your air handler. Step number 2 when installing your mini split system is to go ahead and install the mounting bracket for your air handler. And now for simplicity's sake in this video or in this process, we're specifically talking about wall mounted air handlers, while there are other options that include ceiling cassettes and floor mounted units. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure you're choosing a wall that leads directly to the outdoors, and then it's also a good distance away from a bunch of sunlight, a bunch of sources of dust, and also a good distance from any doors in the room. You'll also want to make sure that in this area that you're drilling, you're avoiding any wires, any plumbing, any important things that you do not want to drill through. Last but not least, go ahead and locate the studs with the stud finder, and then let's drill that mounting bracket directly onto the wall, again making sure that it is level. And then lastly, take a stud finder, find the studs in the wall, and fasten your bracket into those studs with screws, ensuring that it is level. Step number 3 in installing your mini split system is to cut your line set hole. Now that your bracket is installed, it's time to go ahead and cut a hole to run your lines from your air handler to your outdoor condenser. Here you're going to take a hole saw and you're going to drill a hole directly into the drywall. Once that's done, you'll go ahead and push all the insulation out of the way, and then you're going to take a large drill bit and drill a pilot hole directly to the outside. And once that pilot hole is complete, then you'll go outside, you'll locate that pilot hole, and you'll take your hole saw and finish out the other end of that hole to run your line set through. Step number 4 is you're going to go ahead and run your line set from the inside to the outside. Here we recommend taking some electrical tape so you're keeping your control wire, your refrigerant line, and your condensation tube all together nice and tight. Okay, once the lines are run outside, now it's time to actually set the air handler on the bracket. Go ahead and lift your air handler and set it properly on the bracket, ensuring that all these lines that you just put outside aren't bent or kinked in any weird shape or form. Once it's set, you can go ahead and secure it in place with the hardware that comes with the unit. Okay, now that the indoor or the air handler is set properly and mounted, it's time to go ahead and install your outdoor unit or the condenser. In this step, since the groundwork, pun intended, has already been done, all we have to do is simply set the outdoor unit on the pad and secure it in place. We recommend taking 2 extra steps here to properly secure the unit and keep it from ever tipping over and possibly getting damaged. Number 1 is you want to go ahead and set the unit on feet. This will help keep it away from ice if it ever builds up and allow room for it to melt. And then number 2, you also want to take a bracket and secure it to the side of your home. Now that the air handler and the outdoor unit have been installed, the hard work is done. Now it's just time to run refrigerant lines all the way from the indoor unit to your outdoor unit and connect them. This process is fairly simple. All it requires is to run the refrigerant lines from each unit to each other and then screw them into place on your outdoor unit. Where it might get a little bit more difficult is you really want to map out how you want to run these refrigerant lines so it looks nice and organized on the outside of your home. You'll also want to make sure that you're properly setting out your condensation pipe to allow the drainage to go directly down. We typically have this go directly into, a flower bed or a mulch area outside of your home. We also wanted to note a couple quick things here. When you're getting your mini split system installed by an HVAC company, typically they're going to pressurize the lines after the unit has been installed. However, there are a lot of DIY mini split kits out on the internet today, and a lot of these lines already come pre-pressurized. So we just wanted to say, please be careful when you're messing with these lines if they're already pressurized, and make sure you're not cutting them, letting out that refrigerant. The next step in the mini split installation is to cover your refrigerant lines with Speedy channel. Now that your mini split is installed and all the lines are connected, Speedy channel is not only going to protect these lines, but it's also going to give your home a cleaner look and make the line set a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. The first thing that you're going to do is make sure that that hole that you drilled to get access to your indoor air handler unit is properly insulated. Next, you're going to place the back half of the Speedy channel directly against the wall and secure it in place with self-tapping screws. You'll also want to make sure in this step to add a hole to the Speedy channel to let that drainage tube go straight down. After that, you're going to go ahead and add the cover of your Speedy channel. Once the Speedy channel is in place, you can also paint it to match the color of the exterior of your home. Another step that we're going to have to go through in installing your mini split system is you're going to have to run your electrical wiring. In this step, we actually recommend go ahead and hiring a professional electrician. Electrical work can really cause a lot of damage and harm if it isn't done properly, and this is when it's best to go ahead and hire a professional. They're also going to be able to pull any permits and certifications necessary to get the job done. The good news here is that the electricians can often work at the same time as you're working on the air handler or the HVAC company is installing your unit, so no time is wasted. All right, now once your electrical work is done, once the refrigerant lines are done and the Speedy channel is installed, we got one final step in your mini split installation. We're gonna turn your unit on, make sure it's working properly, and if it is, you're gonna go ahead and enjoy the heating and cooling that comes from your mini split system. So now that you know how to install a mini split system, I'm sure you're asking, well, how much do these systems cost? And that's a great question. There are many different factors that go into finding the correct cost of a mini split system. That includes the size of the unit that you're going to end up needing. Number 2, different brands might have different promotions on the units. And number 3, it really depends on the specific job that is your house. Some mini split installations are super simple and easy to get done, while other installations require a little bit more work and are a little bit more complicated, requiring more time for the installation, which obviously increases the cost of the total project. We've seen mini split installations cost as little as, a few $1,000s, but really can go northwards of over $10,000 depending on the complexity of the job. To break down this cost a little bit more, let's go ahead and look at each individual part of your mini split system. The outdoor unit or the condenser can cost anywhere from $2,000 upwards of $7,500 depending on how complex or how much BTU demand you're gonna need for your home. The next part is your air handler or your indoor unit. These units can cost anywhere from $1,000 upwards of $3,500. Your refrigerant lines or your tubing is gonna cost anywhere from $4 to $7 per foot. And then last but not least, any of these jobs are always gonna require extra equipment, extra tools, and we recommend budgeting anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for the job. How much is this mini split installation job going to cost you? Again, we've seen it be as cheap as a few $1,000s, or it can go northwards of over $10,000. What we recommend you do is make sure you reach out to as many HVAC companies as you can and get multiple bids on the project. We also recommend that you only work with an HVAC company that's licensed and insured and has a lot of reviews on Google to make sure that you're working with a reputable company that's actually going to do the work that they say they're going to do. Rest assured that if you work with us here at Clean Air, we're going to do all that we can to find you the best option for your budget and your goals for heating and cooling your home. So probably the next question that we get most from homeowners is, what is this system going to look like in my home and outside of my home? Hey, and we get it. You know, your home is a huge investment, and anything that you're adding to it, you want to make sure that your home still looks nice because you spend a lot of time there. So this is a great topic, and we want to go ahead and put your mind at ease. So first off, you'll be happy to know that the outdoor unit is actually a lot smaller than your typical central air unit. And so it really requires a lot less space, and it's often a little bit easier to hide and not notice as much. And number two, these systems tend to be a lot quieter than a typical central air unit, so you're hardly going to even notice when it's running. We really recommend that you set the outdoor unit in the side of a home that you just don't see as much or that often, and we can hide it typically behind some bushes, etc. While there aren't that many options for your outdoor unit and what it's going to look like, there really are a few different options for your indoor unit and what that is going to look like inside of your home. Probably the most common air handler or indoor unit that people get is what we call a wall-mounted unit. Wall-mounted units today are really sleek, they have great design, and they function really well. We actually find that many homeowners get used to them pretty quickly and they hardly notice them after just a few weeks of having them. We find that using these units works really well when you're heating and cooling an individual room. The second type of indoor unit is what we call a ceiling cassette indoor unit. And with ceiling cassette indoor units, you actually have two different options. There's one that you'll set right in between the joist of your ceiling, and this blows in two different directions, while there are also ones that are more square shaped and they can blow in 4 different directions. A lot of homeowners will choose to get a ceiling cassette unit due to their flush mount design and the fact that they don't take up any wall space and they're really out of sight and out of mind. A third option that's available to you is a floor mounted unit. These are also called floor standing mini splits, and they're very similar to your wall mounted unit in how they operate and how you set them up in your home. We recommend using this type of unit whenever there's windows or there's really low or high ceilings or even slanted walls that prevent the use of a wall mounted unit. So which option should you choose for your home? Really, that's going to depend on a few different factors. You know, depending on how your home is built, you may only be left with one specific option. However, in the situation of where any option is available to you, it really comes down to what you want. If you like the look of a ceiling cassette more than a wall mounted, then we recommend go ahead and choosing the ceiling cassette. Rest assured that when you work with us, we're going to show you all the options that you have available, and we're going to help you make that decision. Okay, so to recap, in this video, we've gone over all of the benefits of choosing a mini split system. We've gone over what size you're going to need for your home. We've gone over how much they cost, what it takes to install them, and also different options that you have for your indoor and your outdoor unit. If you want to learn more about mini split systems, or you're interested in possibly installing one here in the Bellingham area, we'd love to help you. Go ahead and visit our website at callcleanair.com, or you can always give us a call, shoot us a text message at 360-398-9400. Other than that, if you have any questions, you can also always drop a comment below and we'll try to get back to you there as well. In the meantime, if you're interested in learning more about what it's like to work with us, we'll include in this video a recent testimonial of someone who's also gotten a mini split system, and also a couple other things you'll want to know when working with us. Again, my name is Graham Friels. I'm with Clean Air Heating and Cooling, where your comfort is our passion. Thank you. Have a great day.